Welcome to Berlin 1945, Defenders of the Reich. Uh, One of the two fantasy scenarios included with the core game. It's pretty big and complex, but once you get the hang of it, it can be great fun. It's fun in a different way from the Fjord War. The Fjord War is in a way more conventional and also has ships. This one has no ships. This one also has no prestige unless you capture enemy flags. And capturing enemy flags gives you a random bonus, some bonus units and bonus prestige. There are some other oddities as well that makes this scenario unique. You can see Berlin in the background here, absolutely surrounded by Soviets in the east, Americans in the west, British in the north, and your relief force is down by Dresden here in the south. And you can see there is no supply hex. Normally there is a supply hex somewhere, but there isn't. And they are completely surrounded. So they are starved out of supply. And also all the units are under strength except for this guy. I think he's a Volksgrenadier. I don't remember. He's not. I haven't played it that many times. I have. I think I had needed 3 or 4 tries before I got the hang of it and actually completed it the first time. And it was a so-so victory, but I got through the 50 turns. Then I played it with all the knowledge I had from the previous playthroughs, and I made sure I had a good start, and I managed to snowball, and I actually captured. I'm not sure if I captured every flag on the map, but I basically Berlin was totally safe, and I I made some pretty good counterattacks into the corners of the 3 enemy corners of the map, and captured more or less everything. So it is possible. Um, yeah, this is the normal difficulty, and I suppose you can play it on Generalissimus, but I think if you give the AI plus 20 accuracy on top of what it already has, you're in for a very rude surprise. So I think these standalone scenarios are best played at the regular difficulty. I think that's what they are designed for. Yeah, enemy waves, they spawn randomly. There are normal waves, which are pretty mean, and there are hero waves that are completely bonkers. What each wave contains depends on Americans, British, or Soviets, and also a random roll. If you've played any of the Axis Operations DLCs, you know how this works. But the unique part here is you never know. There are plenty of waves, but the time when I played it, there haven't been that many red waves. Most of the waves have been American and British. That's random, but I kind of feel that I get these weird streaks, if you know what I mean. Also, when I capture flags and get these bonuses, I tend to get the same reward multiple times, and some rewards I never see. But I guess that is random. And perfectly even representation would also be very low probability of that. But I'm just talking ahead here. So you have to defend Berlin, not let this hex be taken for 50 turns. There is no prestige to be had, and the AI very low. Yeah, well, that's debatable because steady tickle for the AI, it builds up. So you have to do damage to the AI every turn if you want to keep his prestige down. So In this scenario, it's not always best to kill off every enemy unit. Sometimes you might want to let the single unit live that can see your troops. This will often make the AI spend prestige to heal it, and then it remains in place and has a lot of suppression and blah blah. And also it acts as a spotter, which will draw free forces towards your troops, and they are of course prepared to receive any enemy attack. And it's often easier to sort of lure the enemy to come out of the fog to you at places where you want them to see you and want them to come at you than going full throttle into these defended positions where there are often clustered units around. So be a little bit smart, bait the AI into coming for you. And if you can bait him far enough away, you can just send in a few units that get to strike you, and maybe they won't even shoot at you because once they're close to you and can attack, they see that they will attack into support, and then the attack doesn't happen anyway. Very hard, yes, I can attest to that. Very few scenarios I've had to that I haven't been able to complete on the first try. That Rsev scenario, I didn't complete on the first try, I think, but that one was horrible. It was just a horrible slog. I hope I never have to touch it again. This is just fun from beginning to start. You can get frustrated, sure, and you might have to play it several times to win, but it is great fun. So it's very hard, yes, it's true. Special settings. Yeah, I'll talk about my tactics after. You have to relieve Berlin before it falls, and then keep it safe, basically. But you have also to capture more and more cities so that you get more units and you get more prestige. And units appear here. And bonus units pop out around these axes, well down in this area anyway, and you can deploy on any of these supply axes. And you can also, of course, upgrade and disband here. Yeah, these areas, there is nothing for you there, so don't bother going there. This isn't true. Taking up no slots, but also freeing up no slots. If lost, you know how auxiliaries work. That's not how it works. When you have filled your own slots, you can use the auxiliary slots. So definitely there's a balance between trying to keep some of these alive for use later. I mean, even if these are just strength 7, they are kind of useful, but eventually they probably have to go to free up slots for your own forces, your own core forces. So that this is just a wrong. Training grounds. Yes, you can shoot these dummies. It's like those training missions in the Axis operations where you get a lot of XP relatively quickly. 2 shots is usually 1 star, and maybe if you shoot 3 times, you get 2 stars in the beginning, then it slows down a little. But 2, 3 stars, that really helps out your unit because that raises your base accuracy from 50 to 70, 80. And most of the enemies you meet here are going to have stars. So you are going to be constantly outmatched. So having 2, 3 stars, super useful. The problem, of course, is that once you give something 2, 3 stars, and then it takes damage, and then you need to heal it, what do you do then? Do you buy cheap replacement, or do you waste your very precious prestige with veteran replacements? You can do some veteran replacement, especially from, I don't know, well, let's call it mid game. After turn 10 or 15, you can actually do some key, but you probably won't have enough to keep your guys going with elite reinforcement. So it's best to avoid your units taking damage or keep yourself with very cheap units that you either do not repair at all, just let them die, soak up fire to save your more valuable units, or you reinforce them because they are cheap. So, this one can actually be freed by by killing one of these, and it's possible because these bunkers can shoot into them all game if you want to. And then also, if you train your units regularly, then it's relatively late game you can free this, and it's an experienced tank that you could probably then upgrade to something else, I guess. Or you could run around with a 25 strength light tank, but essentially useless. Either way, it's useless, but you can do it actually. So this is also peculiar. You remember Fjord War, where sunny weather, planes quickly kill each other. Flak has definite effect, and the side that loses control of the air gets bombed to pieces. That doesn't happen here because clouds mean a huge accuracy penalty, 50% or times half. So whatever your accuracy is halved. And let's say that a typical AI unit has 3 stars. That's minus 12 from experience, 4 per level. And let's say that your guys have 2 stars. So you have 70 accuracy, minus 12, 58, and then halved. And that's 29-ish, 29. So 29% chance of hitting per shot. So a 10 strength flak then does 3 damage, typically. And if it's 12, 13, 14 strength, it might do a little bit more. Then there is the problem of a lot of fighters and bombers. This is late war, so they have high defense. Um, so you might be shooting a lot, but you are not going to be doing a lot of damage. Those heavy American bombers, for example, just laugh at your 88s in clouds, and your flak firlings cannot normally just kill everything in sight. On the other hand, you can't completely forego air defense because then chip, 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 every turn they will hit you. Stormoviks, strategic bombers, and also there are enough enemy aircraft on the map to be a real nuisance. So the 88 is still a useful piece because it provides a huge umbrella. It takes away a few strength points in suppression when they shoot at you. Also, the AI seems more reluctant to go after you when you have flak. Flak firlings and verbal winds and that sort are also useful against low flyers, of course, of which there are quite a few. Same applies here. But you have to balance this against other needs. I would say fighters are also extremely useful for escorting the few bombers you will be using, and also protecting key ground units. You will be flying a lot of top cover. You will eventually also be able to kill off a few of the Allied and Russian Soviet planes, but it takes a very long time. Even the ME-262 and those late war fighters, they have their accuracy reduced, so they can't do a lot of damage basically because, well, even at overstrength, a 15 or 14 strength fighter is basically just getting 7 shots. That's essentially what happens. A little simplified, but that's what happens. So Air Force much less important here, but you cannot ignore it completely because you do not have a steady supply of prestige. So you need to conserve your forces, but it's mostly about the ground units. Okay, and briefing. I remember seeing this for the first time, and it felt very, very overwhelming because nothing is the way it's supposed to work. You have 3 planes, which can be used for paratroopers. You have 4 trains. Those can come in handy later. You have 300 slots. That's quite a bit, but it's late war, and you might want to overstrengthen, so they are quickly eaten up. And also the bonus units you get eat from this. So if I had designed the scenario, I would have set it to 600 or 999 or something like that to really give the player more flexibility, because every time I play, I go over the 300, and I can't purchase or upgrade or do anything. I feel I'm locked into those units that I already have, a bit annoying. And like I said previously, you have 150 auxiliary slots, and you can, of course, use them once you go over 300. So you do have 450, and in a standalone scenario, whether it's core or auxiliary, it doesn't matter. And you see none of these except the bunkers are useful, but they slowly die off until you only have this maybe left. Depends on how quick you are. And how much is a bunker? No, it's not. Yeah, there are 0 slots actually. Okay, so only these guys count. But you can see they are under strength, and the auxiliary ones, not the core ones. But these auxiliaries are all under strength. So unless you really feel a need to have them or can't fill your slots with other things, that might happen, because it'd be a while until you are on top of things. So they are encircled. You have to relieve them, or they are strangled, and the quicker the better. But not as quickly as to not be able to secure a few depots along the way, because you really need the resources. You need to buy units, you need to reinforce, you need bonus units. But the first priority is getting to Berlin to lift the blockade to allow supplies to flow in, and then we'll of course flow from the map edge here across the Minor River and into here. So basically you need sort of 3 access or 2 access. Uh, hmm, 1 hex that cannot be in zone of control, so you basically need the corridor 3 hexes wide to allow supplies to flow in. And this is absolutely easiest to accomplish by going up here. You have a broken half-track, bridging half-track here. Bridge at this point, because you can see there is a road on the other side here. Opposition is light. You can grab this one and this one for some much needed prestige and whatever, and you can take this one easily. And then you can clear out this Soviet infantry. You can see it's conveniently weakened for you. The artillery is on the wrong side, or it's facing Berlin, but it is on the wrong side for stopping the relief effort. And then you can go in here and lift the siege. But in the this will take a few turns, and in the meantime, the noose will tighten. So suddenly there will be enemy units in the city, and you could manage to relieve just part of the force. Once they get supplies, there are some interesting units here. 10 strength infantry in close terrain. It's not as good as 15 or 20 strength, but it's not useless. And these flak guns are weak, but not completely useless. So don't throw them away needlessly. There are some trash units. These 5-centimeter puck, they might as well not exist. I'm not sure why they aren't 7.5. That would be more useful. Also expect all these outlying units to die, although I did actually experience 1 unit surviving in the forest here for a very, very long time, and that was quite funny. But these can't break out of and circumvent themselves. It won't happen. So it's up to these guys, and it's a very motley collection. You have a good recon here, you have a Hetzer, and Hetzers aren't bad on the defense. 24 strength is okay. And then it's also super cheap, so that's a plus. These I usually upgrade into something because you can't, they are useless. They will be chipped to death by bombers. It's going to be super expensive to keep them alive. Here you have a 15 strength Panther. It's a Panther A, so it could be better. You can see. You could turn it into a G, but it's not important. Then you have a captured T-28, and they have they have a high soft attack. So I imagine it had rapid fire, but it probably doesn't. E-75 with a bit of experience. Of course, there were weaker units have more experience. It's a Tulip Firefly. It's an artillery like a Stu-42 equivalent Brombeer. Looks absolutely the worst recon car there is. So, and you start with 2 planes here, and some folks. One Volksgrenadier, 20 strength. That's nice, and these 20 strength Volkssturmer. So you have a good starting force. I like to upgrade these, but keep in mind that they are deployed on map using only their base slots. So this 7.5 puck is 2 base, but it should be 3 because it's strength 12, and it gets even more fun because the E75 is 9 base, but this is a 14 strengther. So normally that's 16 slots. So once you start upgrading these guys, their full slot cost will kick in. So you might not want to upgrade all of them if you are concerned about the slots. On the other hand, while the Hetzer, there is another Hetzer, and a Hetzer and a Jagd Panther 448. I mean, it's not exactly top of the line. So if you can upgrade them into Jagd Panthers or Jagd Tigers, slower but vastly better, I would suggest doing so. And this, with this high experience, will just take a lot of damage, so you might as well turn it into another E75. But then you will have to pay the full slot cost. A lot of little details like that you might not think about. So that's my plan. I will also take this depot. That's easy to take. I'll show you how. I will take these 2. And I will take Wurzburg. These I think are base level 1. And then I think this one and maybe also this one is level 2. Slightly bigger bone, slightly better units, or more prestige, or both. And in the corners here, you can get some crazy rewards. But at that, if you can take the corners, you probably already won. So, or you've played really dumb and are about to lose. Yeah. So I will take these 3 depots and try not to. It's so very easy to drift towards these other targets, towards Frankfurt, and last but not least Leipzig. Here are 3 rewards for you, but they are defended. So you have to take that. You have to take that into account. And once you sort of stumble into spotting range, they will react and you will have a fight on your hands. So the idea is to not sort of trip off the AI too much initially. Uh, we'll take these 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 going in, and the path of least resistance is through here. And I suppose also we can open up these. But airborne is better than conscript standing in the open, so it's absolutely easiest to go in here, and then there are no rewards for mucking about in the forest here as well. We will also be reorganizing our defenses a little bit. It might not seem like it matters, but hanging around in the entrenchment like that gets those infantry killed very, very quickly. There is no deployment turn. We start in turn 1, and we have no prestige anyway, so we can't initially buy anything. So, anything else you want to talk about before I start actually playing? Yeah, you can see. Fallskärm we will use to quickly move forces towards Berlin. I'm not sure if it's the best way of doing it, but it's a way of doing it. So I try to get 2 waves of 3 overstrength paras in there, and they're fairly useful in close terrain with 20 strength as well, so they can help defend Berlin after. Some pioneers can definitely be useful. They help with entrenchment. They have 10 close defense, and this version has very high hard attack, so they are super against tanks in close terrain. But other than that, the Volksgrenadier is of course awesome. It has 6 close defense. It's quick on the move. These 2 do not matter if you are in close terrain, and they have great attack scores. Jaegers, they are always nice. They are close, but you might as well. I won't be buying a lot of these. I'll see what I can get from the gifts. Flame units, I have a soft spot for those, but truth be told, there aren't a lot of infantry stumbling around in the open, or neither are there a lot in the trenches, so it's not that useful. The mouse I do not like because it is too slow for me, and you can see that's the same. This is a much better tank. And these are the same slot cost, only the E75 is much, much better. The problem with this tank, the J, is that it is utterly irrelevant at this point. Your tanks need to strike to kill enemy units, and all it can do is kill recon cars and infantry in the open and that sort of thing. The Panther, preferably over strength and experienced, and the E75, those are the only tanks that are worth bothering with. Both of these are good. One has rapid fire, and the other has real attack and higher air defense. This one is just something in between and should never be taken as far as I'm concerned. This one is also cheaper, so. But I don't think I will be buying many. I'll try to upgrade my looks. It is 6 move. It's not horrible, but if you look at the stats on this one, it's like, or this one, it's like, why? Why? Because it has higher hard attack, or whitey? I don't know. It is not a good tank. Cheap though. It's not a tank either. It's anti-tank. Okay, it has a great attack rating, but please don't pick these towed ones because they will just be chipped to death by artillery and airstrikes, so just don't. Absolutely best unit here is the Tiger. It's a bit slow, but if you are running E75s, that doesn't matter. Great attack rating and importantly, great defense. And it pairs very well with the E75, like I said. In a pinch, you can use the Tiger 2, which I think you can get as a gift unit. And you might not have time to upgrade it. You start with this one and 2 of this one, and I think there is under strength 70 in the city of Berlin. But why? I mean, if you have the chance, please upgrade to the Yacht Panther. The Yacht Panther, you see, is almost as hard hitting on the offense as the Yacht Tiger, and much faster, so you can position it better. But it's 25 ground defense. It sounds like a lot, but really it's not. And also 12 air defense is not that much. So it will be chipped more, but more importantly, if you put it in an exposed position, some enemy super heavy tank will just ignore your tanks and go for it and hurt it really, really badly. While the Yak Tiger, they take one look at and then they decide to attack the Panther next to it, and then they eat Tiger and Panther. So these two. But initially, for the first turns, you might have to play with what you've got, but eventually when you have relieved Berlin for a little while and I've gotten more units and have time to shuffle things back and forth by rail very quickly, train your units, upgrade them some, and aim for these guys. Too weak, absolutely too. It's just pointless. If you're going to yeah, I mean, it has a good defense, but it's slow and it 25 hard attack. It's not enough. It's irrelevant. Now the big controversy. I can't really decide what I think myself. This is a good unit because it's self-propelled and because you can turn it into an anti-tank unit. And defensively, the 88 has okay stats, and it still has 20, so it doesn't damage that easily. Speed is good. I mean, a couple of 12 strengthers with some experience, they can deter the enemy from a large part of your key forces, your armor that you do not want to get chipped. And if you also use a few fighters, and I mean, the variable wind isn't too bad because it goes for close defense, so it can do real damage, and it gets 20 shots or more if you overstrengthen it. So it can still be effective, but it's finding the time and resources to have them, and they also cover a much smaller area. I mean, this is just not good. Because, yeah. It's just middle of the road. Has absolutely no relevance. I think you start with one of those and one of those in the city, and they can just go away. Artillery. I like the Panzer because of rapid fire. The Wolframen isn't too bad. It also has rapid fire ×2, but it damages much more easily. It's pretty fast though, so not a terrible unit. I like the Brummbär. It's basically the Stu 42 without anti-tank mode, and at this stage the Stu 42 anti-tank mode doesn't do anything. You might want one or two 4-range guns if you can afford it and can keep them safe. Very useful to later put on these hills, this hill, this hill, this hill, and this hill can reach out. And yeah, you can see here they have artillery outside my walls. Useful for dealing with that counter battery fire. Might want to consider that. Sturmtiger is better than the Brombear, but it is much more expensive. Not so much in slots as in prestige. But you can see it has good attack ratings, can even hurt some tanks. Good suppression damage, has better defense from the air. The Hummel is the only good piece of self-propelled artillery. So if I buy any, I buy more Werfers, more Brombars, Werfer, and you can do the 17, but you want this to hurt the heavy tanks. Fighters, personal preference. This one is basically the 262 on steroids, so always this one. Although this guy does have higher defense, but the offense is better. But don't expect it to do a great deal of damage because air-to-air combat is also at half accuracy. So they will be doing just a little bit of damage. And this also means that my usual tactic of mass attack is somewhat less effective. You get the same bonuses, but normally you would do 4, 5, 6 points of damage, really put the hurt on the defender, but because of the accuracy penalty, you do 2 damage, and then it still gets to shoot back with 8 strength, even though you had full initiative advantage. No, bet you didn't think about that. So ideally I want a handful of these fighters. Attack bombers. Well, scouts. This one is very cheap, so that's something easily replaced. Not a drain on your resources. This one is useless because of the accuracy penalties. Normally it's very nice for chipping away at artillery and that sort of thing, but it's not going to be hitting anything anyway. So a lot of stuff has very high air defense anyway. I think this is the best option. It's not much more expensive, but it has a lot higher defense. So it won't be shot down quite as easily, especially since the accuracy penalty. They won't hit it a lot, and when they do hit it, they won't always murder it. Of course, the dedicated fighter with like 18, 20 plus attack rating, they will just laugh at 10 air defense, so don't get your hopes up. For airplanes, it's either this, tried and true, or this. 14 hard attack, it's not very much, because there are plenty of tanks with 12, 14 air defense, and even some with 16 air defense, IS-2s, that sort of thing, which we will meet in some numbers. So between that and the clouds, don't expect to do a lot of damage, but still it can be important to have a few tactical bombers. And this can, of course, handle itself a lot better than this in the air. 16 is hugely different from 8. I would not would not send it out unescorted. That's not smart. But yeah, it's also extremely cheap. So even if it takes damage, I will take less damage. So I think it's a good trade-off. Strat Bombers. Now, normally I would be all over these guys. Low slot cost, over strength, 15 strength Dorniers. Unfortunately, although they are not that expensive, 400 prestige is still prestige, so they will constantly, despite being escorted and despite the clouds, they will be. So unless you have the prestige to spare and sort of want to draw the enemy in, they are not a good option, in my opinion. So I would go for something bigger, something with more defense. or just forgo strategic bomber at all. But having one or two at least is very useful for dislodging. I mean, the Tulip or a Brumbear and one strategic bomber can take away a lot of entrenchment in just one turn. These guys are 2, 2, 2, and then you have this bad boy with 16 air defense, 18 range, and entrenchment killer times 4. I mean, it can remove a lot of entrenchment on its own. This one and a regular piece of artillery also does the thing. Of course, it costs a lot more than the Heinkel. But if you have to refresh the Heinkel every 2 or 3 turns, it might turn out that the Heinkel wasn't that good a choice. Anyway, and it has 18 range. You have this strange guy here, the America Bomber. It costs slightly less, and what it does, it has less soft attack. It has less naval attack. That's not a problem, and it has 1 less range. Well, it's always range is always good, but you can see it has only entrenchment killer times 2. So this is quite a disappointment. All the other jet units I would have expected it to have to be better, but it's not. So you can either go for this, but it has very low attack, but purely for the entrenchment killing. If not, I would use the Dornier, but expect to take a lot of damage. This one doesn't really help a lot. At least make it this one, but still it won't help a lot. It still will get hurt. So I would say either as cheap as possible, or usually the Dornier, but it quickly gets as expensive as the TA400. So do you need strategic bombers at all? Yeah, I find them useful. I really do. I mean, you could even split the TA400 and get 4 entrenchment kills in 2 locations at once. So it's not a bad choice. This the usual over-strengthening thing. There are no ships, so and half accuracy, remember? So every 2 points is basically just 1 point, so you are paying a lot for not a lot of shots. Yeah, that's enough from me talking. I'm going to save here, and then we can start with turn 1. It's a big map with a lot of stuff going on, so I'm actually going to try to play with the unit list hidden. I don't use it that much, and the mini map also do not use that too much. It's tempting to go for this easy kill here, but take my advice and don't. Let's get some recon on these guys. We're of course going to do stuff here. Oh, we can't reach it, so let's try something else. This is a recon, remember? I have played this scenario before, so the initial state is no secret. My relatively mean E75. Didn't quite kill it. Oh, okay. That went fairly well, and We want this as far left as possible, but still in range to do Daka Daka. Oi, that was a good strike. I'm playing with 60% randomness because the default is 50. I like to play 100 when I play campaign because I like the uncertainty, but that could skew the results wildly. So I settled for just tuning up the randomness a tiny little bit. And we have vacated the premises, as we say. This one, wish I had, can't reach anything. If I rush here, I won't be able to kill it anyway, so I will. How far can this move? Speed 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It couldn't get around here. Bye. And now the tulip, and I have the advantage of recon here as well. I could have maybe moved him over first, but okay. Also recon bonus, and I get to push him away. That's not quite enough. So I guess I could use this guy. But then do I... Okay, we have captured a minor depot. And we have not gotten any units, but we got a very nice prestige bonus. And in case you think this was foolhardy to put this guy into the town, kind of, maybe, it's backed up by this tulip. So he could get to it, but he would have to make an effort. This one now has both kinds of support. Ah, 2 recons, that's nice. Recons are very useful. If I could have made a wish, I would have liked some artillery. Now it protects these units. So you see, these can't move, of course. And this guy started out so far to the left here. Nothing he can do, but he could train. He could go upgrade, but I think I will see. He's got a star. So now he has 3 stars. My little friend goes up here. And 1, 2 infantry should be enough. I'll let him run a bit. And now it's time to spend some prestige. And there are so many things I want to do in so little time. What? Didn't I make the shot? Did I undo something? Or do my old eyes deceive me? Did I forget something? No, I didn't make a shot. I make this shot that fun. Sorry. Sorry. So terribly sorry. Upgrade. And I will actually turn these. I will lose a star. And I could go 500. That was a lot of prestige. Ooh, that was a lot. 12. It will have 60 base accuracy. Okay. I think I'll do the same with that. And next I'll get the Paratroopers I told you about, and you have to sort of just cram as much firepower as possible into them. And I will upgrade this one into a flying wing. I'm not sure. Let me think about it. I don't know how many points I want to use. I want to protect this with my aircraft. I'm just trying to figure out what else I need to buy. I would like to buy more stuff. Now, let's do a plane wing. Has a little bit of experience there. And I will actually be so bold as to purchase a fighter here. Because I do not expect to lose this airfield immediately. If I do it, we'll just rebase down here. Okay, so I actually have prestige left. This is unusual. Very unusual. This one is rather cheap, isn't it? A 13 strength Arado. Is that a good move? I don't think it is with the clouds, but I'm gonna buy it anyway. And 168. That was a lot. There. I can't purchase anything else. So let's leave those last few points. So that I think was a fairly decent start for round 8. Wow, maybe I can catch this one next turn. think I'm quite pleased with that. And now for a word from our sponsors. No. Okay. So I'm switching some of them into anti-tank mode, but maybe no, I want to do something else. Bear with me here. The problem, you see, is they use up all their ammunition too quickly because we get attacked by a bunch of bombers, and suddenly we're out of ammunition. And that's not good. These are useless, so might as well use them while we have them. These these hills can be really dangerous to stick around on. Yeah, something like that. So this one is in flak mode. This one we will turn down, move it. It's called flak tower, and I'm not sure how I moved it, but I did move it. Yeah, the Capard. Do I really want to protect it in any way? Yeah, okay. So we have a few in anti-aircraft mode just to deter a little bit. It's gonna be suppressed anyway soon, so. One less crossing point for you, my friend. Or friend, or friend. This is what happened. They just ignored him and it stayed there all game. I don't think there's anything else to do here. So let's hit the turn button and actually take time to watch this. One suppression, that's all. Amazing. So now he's used 3 or 4 shots and he's not getting his ammo back, but we can switch over to one of the other guns next turn. If we want to. Oops. And here he came out to play with my light tank. Not sure why I wanted that, but he did. Oh, no, I wish I had my 20 strength here and could rush out and hit this guy in the swamp. Oh, one thing I didn't mention. The Allies and the Soviets do not like each other. They will they will attack each other when they have the chance. It's actually hilarious to watch. Yeah. So they did very little damage. They did a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about that. Oh, here is my dog. It's some attention, or flat tension as we call it. It's a flat-coated retriever. So, not sure how much longer I want to play. Oh, did he attack me yet? It's getting fairly late here, so let me at least save. Maybe we can do just one tiny round. Ah, you see, this is the tier 2 reward. I got 2,200 from the lower tier, and then you can get this. And it's very useful to get units, of course, but it's definitely useful to get that kind of prestige. Ha ha ha, you're not getting away from me, punk. Yeah, even better. Oh, Okay, that wasn't too shabby. This has 22, so it has no chance of inflicting a kill. This I talked about. This is not so bad. Now it has taken damage. We're on turn 2. Then we get a little bit of prestige. They can see me, so you can expect if there are reinforcements, they will come at me. And they might also decide to use the prestige to repair this useless 76-inch that can't really hurt me. So that's a good good thing. And this one can go up and cover this area. This one can go over here and cover this area. This one can come here, cover here. And the Panther, I might need. See, it's so you have success here. So your gut instinct tells you to advance on Frankfurt and then take Leipzig, and then suddenly remember, no, that's not my objective. My objective is going up there, up in this area. And now I already have too many units in down here. Yeah, it covers everything important. This one will upgrade. This will move up here afterward. Okay, let's use these recon planes since I actually have them. I, of course, completely forgot about that. So I could have used it, but then I might have killed it, and then my little prestige drain trick won't work. So this is definitely part of the plan. And of course, I want to capture that bit here. And now I have to decide if I want to escort it or not. Let's embark these guys. And then just send them up here. Oops. This is a good escort, so it can go escort on the off chance that some fighters see me. This one I think can spot me. Spotting 3, 1, 2, 3, yes. So upgrade. Yeah, this guy has to go somewhere. Where do I need you the most? I need you the most up here, don't I? Yes, it was a tier 2. So tier 1, tier 1, tier 2, and this innocent looking that the Soviets vacated, also tier 2. This I think is another tier 1. I think these are just tier 1s. Probably tier, one of these is probably tier 2, but the rest I don't remember. This one is probably also tier 2 because it looks kind of special. I think that concludes, well, I have to buy stuff, and lest I forget, I will buy 3 more, because next turn I can drop them. No, I almost forgot something. I want to upgrade this guy, but the only supply hex we can reach is, of course, the supply hex I need. That's a bit rude. Just gonna drive him over here then. That was a bit of a letdown. Can upgrade him the turn after then, I suppose. Well, I have no choice. So. Hum. Yeah, you get a few thousand prestige and you go like, yeah. You can accomplish much the same by, because let's say you have 2 or 3 units that you're granted and you get 500 or 750 prestige, and maybe those are to Jace, for example, that's 1,000. So it's the gifts are not exactly the same value, but more or less. But by just getting the prestige, you do save a little bit of time. You don't have to move those units and then disband them, but it's just there's 1 turn difference, so it's not huge. But I think 2,750 is fairly good. Maybe a couple hundred more than you would get if you traded in your other stuff. But I think you can also get a 15 strength Jagd Tiger on one of the gifts. So pros and cons. So this is now out of ammunition. This has 2 ammunition left. It's been bombed from above. We can switch this to defense mode. Nah, it's not doing any damage, even though it's sitting in the swamp. Ooh. It's... They're going to be suppressed soon anyway, so it doesn't really matter one way or the other what you do. Let's check if I forgot something. Yeah, my planes, my little planes. Of course, he did damage, although the prediction was not. I think that happens a lot in the air. Oh, oh! I almost hit turn end here. That would be very bad because now I feel extremely rich because I actually have a little bit of prestige. Not sure how smart putting them on. I'm not. I'm not sure I'm investing correctly here. Do I need some? The rest I should maybe save for reinforcement. Ideally, I want some experience on a unit like that. Is this insane? Yes, it's insane. Not sure. Boo! It did not survive this turn. This time, yeah. I think it lasted until turn 10 or 12 or something the other time. Yeah, stand on the swamp, you daft person. And you couldn't overrun because I put my 88 into you. Now he can reach, and that should hurt because this is a grenadier. Bye. Bye bye. Yeah. Mosquito. With 2 fighters I can cover much more of the city. Might send one of my other fighters up as well. I'm not sure why I didn't just deploy it. It's unfair. The Spitfire shouldn't be able to hurt me. It just has 16 attack. Yeah, good one. Oh. Too bad this guy's out of ammo and suppressed. Wow, that was smart. No. Oh, I really want to keep playing, but I... Yes. See? He's put his prestige into this anti-tank gun. It's excellent. I just want to keep playing. So I can go here and wipe out this guy. This guy could get some XP and then speed away. Now I need to move this block of whatever, and I have to resist the temptation to go over Frankfurt. I can feel it pulling me. No, I'm not going to Frankfurt. I'm not going to Leipzig. I'm going to both places, but not right away. I'm going to screen, and I'm going to send the bulk of my forces. I need to get this Löwe guy and my soon-to-be Jagdtiger on their way. And I need to get the artillery up. I need to get the pioneers up. I need to get the 2 waves of paras into this area. So now I have a good feeling. I played 3 of 50 turns, so I have a good feeling. There are a couple of reinforcements. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about that. There are several waves of reinforcements that can spawn early on. Like, I don't remember exactly. I could look it up in the file, but I won't. But let's say turn 3, 6, 9, like that, or maybe even earlier. So soon we should either see some Soviet overstrength tanks and infantry coming down this road, or we should see the same British coming down this road, or we should see Americans coming. They often come this way. No, not Wesel. They usually come across here. So that's exciting to learn what will happen next. 2-9. It's a pretty big difference between Fox Grenadiers and Fox Storm. But now I probably have some artillery nearby. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Must resist temptation. No, I have to turn off. See you next time.